What's up everyone, I'm Miss Pure Editor, and today I'm going to show you how to write a reflective essay step by step using excerpts of a real piece that I wrote. Let's get started. So the purpose of this essay is to analyze a past event, object, place, or person and determine its overall significance or meaning in your life. Here are some example essay topics for a reflective essay. You could write about thoughts on a summer vacation, memories of a grandparent, recollections of successes and failures, a description of what a particular memento, such as a photograph or toy, or any other object, means to you, or a reflection on the impact a particular movie had on you. For the sample essay that we are looking at today, the topic is a reflection on the time I spent writing college application essays. In your introduction for this essay, you can start by writing an attention-grabbing hook. Here's a hook that corresponds to our sample essay topic. When I began my college application process, the 650-word limit on the Common Application essay presented a daunting challenge. I had to condense the essence of my 17-year-old self into less than a page of single-spaced 12-point Times New Roman font. This hook grabs the reader's attention because it introduces a difficult task and includes very specific details using a sequence of numbers, such as 650 words, 17 years old, 12-point font. Thus, you can use content-based and stylistic elements to make your hook really pop. You should then provide an overview of the subject matter. In this case, I would write a description of the college admissions process and the types of essays I had to write, and this would be extremely brief overall. Lastly, your introduction should include a thesis statement, which offers an overall evaluation of your experience and its importance in your life. Here's my thesis statement. Like most students, I had entered the college application process with the goal of receiving a congratulatory acceptance letter, but as I meditated on my own experiences to answer each question, the process began to assume a new meaning. Through self-reflection, I was discovering my own interests and the person I wanted to become. This last sentence in particular explains why I think the college application process was valuable. In your body paragraphs, you will follow these 3 simple steps: describe, reflect, and transition. These steps do not necessarily go in this order, but you can rearrange them however you see fit. You can also repeat steps in your paragraph. When describing your subject matter, use specific details such as time, place, and physical attributes, and sensory imagery to describe your subject matter. When reflecting, you should answer these types of questions. How did you change after the experience? What did you learn? Did the experience change your beliefs? What would you have done differently? What were the positive and negative outcomes? And how did this experience impact the people around you? When transitioning, you should provide a seamless connection to the next idea, event, or point. On the top right, I've linked my video on how to write effective transitions, so you should check that out if you need additional resources for this step. Here are some excerpts of body paragraphs I wrote for this essay. These 3 excerpts are scattered throughout the essay, so they're not adjacent to each other. Instead, they are standalone chunks of text. Please pause this video and read over these excerpts. So in this first underlined portion, I am describing the writing process, the prompts for my college application essays, and the emotions I was feeling at the time. Then I reflect by drawing similarities between me and admissions officers. I realized that we both had things in common. While they had to decide which students to accept into a college, I had to choose which memories to discuss in my essays. If we analyze this reflection section more deeply, we can see that I am acknowledging that admissions officers, like me, have a difficult task before them. I reflect even more in this highlighted section by describing how I changed my writing style. Because admissions officers are people who are likely captivated by a good, fast-paced story, I started to write my essays with that in mind. For instance, I stopped writing phrases such as "it dawned upon me" or "I realized," because those phrases tend to remind people that they are reading a story rather than allowing them to experience the narrative vicariously. The next sentence provides a transition into a specific story or anecdote, which I have not included in this excerpt. In this section, I'm describing the interview process and the results of those interviews. Notice how I am trying to incorporate some humor by talking about cloning and a confusing encounter with someone at a Starbucks. This keeps my mood light. I may have been stressed during my college application process, but I don't want to stress out the person reading this reflective essay. Right after, I transition into another paragraph by stating that I realized that this process, despite some rejections, was not pointless. This signals that I am about to talk about why the college application process was important in my journey of self-growth in the next paragraph. In your conclusion, reference your thesis statement without restating it word for word. This is what I wrote. I had emerged from the process with a stronger sense of self, knowing that no matter what career path I chose, I would not compromise my desire to pursue community service and writing. This part should be even more specific than your thesis statement because the reader now knows the entire story. You can then explain the impact of your subject matter. For me, the impact has to do with the college application process helping me solidify my career goals and showing me what environment was actually the best fit for me. And lastly, offer a single takeaway for the reader to remember. This is what I wrote. Like most high school seniors, I originally thought that the purpose of completing the application was to paint a complete portrait of my identity to the admissions officer. In reality, that picture was a work in progress that I was just beginning to create. Thanks so much for watching. In the comments, let me know what the subject of your reflective essay is, and also feel free to ask any questions you have about the structure or style of reflective essays. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe and tap the bell to receive notifications whenever I make a new video. See you next time.